This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our Sunday sunset safari. It is a lot of alliteration and not something you would say if you had to speak like a snake would. I think it would be quite awkward. Anyway, my name is Tristan. On camera, I've got Panda. Panda?
Good, man.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good.
Good. Have you had a nice day?
Nice day, man.
Nice day. Good. So, Panda's had a good day. I've had a good day. Nadine, have you had a good day? Not been bad. Okay, wonderful. There we go. So it's a good day all around, and hopefully it will be a good afternoon. Now, for it to be an even better afternoon, it requires all of you to participate in our safari. And so we love to hear from you, whether it be a question or a comment, or to be able to just start a discussion. And so you can do that via the website, if you're watching there, or the YouTube chat stream, as well as on Twitter/X, hashtag Wild Earth, and hopefully we'll have lots to talk about this afternoon. It is warm, I'll tell you that much. We're parked in the sun while this beautiful Nyala bull sits in the shade and lives its best life. We are getting absolutely cooked sitting where we are. So I think it's going to be a bit of a sort of slower start to the afternoon. I suspect that we're going to find most of the animals in these shady sections like this, and then maybe around some water as it starts to get later in the afternoon, and then only into the evening do I expect the predators to start moving around. Now, in terms of predator options, there's not much that we have from this morning, but that's not to say that there isn't something around. As we know, we have some of our leopards that are not shy to walk around in the middle of the day. I've driven around in summer here where it's been almost 50 degrees and found leopards walking in the middle of the day, so it can happen. As you can see, this Nyala is about to come out into the sun itself. I'm just doing a little walk by. It's nice and relaxed bull, this. They really are beautiful animals, aren't they? I love a Nyala, albeit that it's a bit invasive in this area. It didn't used to occur here back in the day. They were brought into many of the private areas and then have slowly bled out into systems like the Sabi Sands. So, Giraffe Girl, ready for a Sunday fun day bumble? You know, always. It's always nice to hear from Giraffe Girl, and we'll see you in a few months. I think you said the other day it's about 80 days until Giraffe Girl comes to Africa, so we will be going on a safari, which will be good. But yeah, so in predator options, just while we kind of on it, because Giraffe always reminds me of lions. She and I always have these arguments about lions and leopards as to which one's better, and I'm trying to convince her that a leopard is better than a lion. And I'm sure after a trip we did last year where we saw a lot of leopard, I'm making progress in working and chipping away. But the lion's sort of options for this afternoon are not great, if I'm honest. Panda, I think let's get going. We can slowly start to bumble. Don't worry about showing the beautiful blue sky. But we won't have too many options. Unfortunately, the Kumbula 4 plus the Lioness, the last I heard, their tracks were going further to the northeast from Rhino Cut Line towards Serval, which goes then towards Cruise Camp, and is only about, I would say, 1 kilometer and a bit from the Kruger National Park boundary with Buffelshoek. So they went miles to the east from Jumo last night, and that is all due to that pressure, I'm sure, from the Plains Camp boys as to why they've gone there. So there's no chance for them, I'm afraid. That single lioness that Cedric and I saw last night could be around. It's potential for that. But otherwise, Canine Girl, you're saying TP, otherwise exactly. So TP would be possible. Where he was is close to the Little Gari camp. Now from there to us is not very far at all for a male leopard, but I don't expect him to have walked it during the day. It's a bit hot for that, and there is water very close by to where he is there, so he doesn't need to come up this side for water. So I'd expect him to be late evening for us, or tomorrow morning. Marips was on Hunter's Road, which is just north of the boundary, but he was up that side and not moving south. And that's really the only updates I got leopard-wise. So we'll see what we can find. Maybe we'll get lucky. In the meantime, though, I was talking about how warm it is. Maybe we'll have a look at just how hot it's going to be in June.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. You are here with us live at Amakhala Private Game Reserve in the southern parts of the Eastern Cape, South Africa, where the sun is shining beautifully. Hello, everybody. My name is Eric, joined by Morgan behind the camera. This afternoon, we're going to be your eyes and ears as we look for animals to show you on this live sunset safari. And we found our first subject here. It is big Mr. Collie, our dominant bull elephant, and he's doing a bit of digging. He's clearly done a bit of, I wouldn't say mud wallowing, but he's been down at the pan. Oh, that's very interesting. He's sustained a bit of an injury due to a bit of fighting, and that injury is just off his right tusk. It's pretty much the same level. And I don't know if you saw, he was using his trunk to sort of... so the injury is on his trunk, just off of his just inside of his tusk. And he was using some form of plant. And I didn't see what it was. It looked like there's not very big clumps of grass like that here. It looked like a bit of a fynbos that he was using to sort of rub on it a little bit. Alison, indeed, we've had lovely sightings with the elephants over the last 3-4 days. We've been very spoiled indeed, and they continue to spoil us. Oh, this is a big elephant. He's not small. But he's obviously using the plant. You may know that there may be a few health properties with using that plant, or healing properties that he can rub all over his wound. Just also to prevent it from being bothered by some, some parasites, flies and all sorts. You don't want those animals in there. And then also to make it antiseptic. You don't want it to get infected. And especially an injury on the trunk. That's like having an injury to the thumb. Like somebody's cut. It's a pretty big cut. So if somebody were to cut your thumb, that's kind of what he is. But in this case, it's almost both thumbs, because the trunk is pretty much, they only have one trunk. And they have to use that trunk every single day in order to survive. So it can be a little bit of an inconvenience to have a cut there. But this is proof that fighting is not good. You see these boys, they got themselves into a bit of a fight. They've cut themselves, and they've now disadvantaged themselves. Make a note of this, children. I'm not too sure the reasoning for the fighting, because most of these injuries look like they were sustained away from the elephant herd or the breeding herd. Most of these bulls have been up here by themselves for the past 4 days. Joan, the view is absolutely stunning. Indeed it is. And the elephant is lovely to stand on this little edge of the slope so that we can enjoy the view as well. I mean, wow, he's now slowly disappearing behind a bush. And you can just see the top of his head. We've obviously noticed that yesterday Boetie was getting a little bit too serious with the fighting. So there's definitely something going on with our bulls and their attitude.
Explore the untamed valleys and thickets with Ralph Kirsten.
Beautiful.
Or venture into the wild with Eric Barnard.
I will take you to my favorite places, show you my favorite animals, share the best stories, and you will definitely be able to watch the stars.
There are only 6 places available on each safari. For more information and to secure your seat, contact Wild Earth Travel.
Yes, a very, very good afternoon to everybody. My name is Cedric, and behind the camera here on the Sentinel, we've got Muscles and Paul, and he's a teddy bear. So thanks for joining us on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. It is a Sunday fun day for us and for everybody. So I just spoke to Tristan. He is going down towards Treehouse Dam, Twin Dams, that area. I'm going to do the little bit on the western side here just to see if Tortoise Pan, that beautiful male leopard, did not come north during the morning. As you know, that male can really cover a lot of ground. As well as, yes, we're going to see what else we can find. We did have 2 African hawk eagles now, but flying in the sun, both of them, and then they flew off. So it was nice. One of my favorite, well, it's not one of my favorite, it is my favorite bird, an African hawk eagle. Just love them to bits. So I'm hoping that we can find them again later on, or find another pair somewhere. But for now, I am just going to take a look here on the one side, the western side of Juma. You can see what we can find here. Lovely afternoon, sun is shining, not much of a breeze. Hey 40, yes, yeah, we wonder what we're going to find out here this afternoon. That's what's always so nice about it. It's you always have to expect the unexpected, and that is very important. So yeah, we just go with the flow. Go with the flow this afternoon, hoping for some rosettes. It would be nice. I'm sure everybody would love some rosettes this afternoon. Maybe Tristan finds something, maybe I find something, maybe we both find a cat somewhere. So yes, we will cross fingers for that. As well as I was taking a look last night on Dam Cam. I did not know it was all 4 males of the Kambulas. All 4 of them were together, so clearly that one male that was missing from yesterday rejoined with his coalition, and they went past the dam cam last night, and I went a little bit further east. So I might end up doing the northern boundary, do first the west, and then go north and then take a look. But for now, I am just going to look out for any signs of tortoisepan for now. And see what else we can find. Maybe a dwarf mongoose, a nice family somewhere. I heard that the Talamati young male was seen on Chitwa this morning. Lola, yes, some cat action, as I said. It's that apparently the Talamati young male was seen around on Chitwa airstrip this morning. So I'm sure either Tristan or myself, one of us will end up going towards Chitwa and go and follow up on that young male lion. It looks like they've all been split up somewhere. Maybe they bumped into something again and they all went different directions. And of course, talking about the Nkuhuma pride. So Diwa, you said you want to get lions roaring today. Yeah, well, Eric was lucky this morning. I mean, he got that male lion roaring there at Amakala this morning. That was quite nice. That was actually that was beautiful. What a setting with that mist and that lion roaring in the mist. That was absolutely stunning. Stunning. But yeah, we'll just scratch around here and see if we get any luck with something somewhere. Yeah, it doesn't look like any leopardo has come up this road. There's no new tracks from this morning. No, nothing. But we'll keep on trying down this side. Always good just to have a little bit of a bumble down here. Even wild dogs would be nice. Wild dogs would be very nice. Alright, well, we're going to slowly continue with this road and see what else we can find down here. Let's head over to old Mr. T-Man, Tristan himself, to see what's happening at one of the waterholes.
Well, as you can see, we're at Treehouse Dam at the moment. There were some elephants here, but they unfortunately went over the dam wall as we arrived, and so we're just having a look at a hippo for now. That's why I'm parked in a weird spot at Treehouse Dam, is because the Ellies were in the corner and I was hoping they were going to swim for us. But they decided just to pop over the dam wall and disappear behind there. We'll catch up with them just now, though. It won't be too difficult to relocate them, especially when it's a bunch of boys that are pushing each other around. In the meantime, though, our hippo is just, doing hippo things, really, which is bobbing about in a hot Sunday afternoon. Seems like the perfect thing to do. I think hippos have a great life in many ways. I mean, obviously they have to fight one another, which is probably not so much fun. But for the most part, they do have a good time, especially in the summer when it's super hot. They just kind of go into the water and lounge about there, and no one really bothers them too much in the water itself. The odd elephant might come and splash around, but for the most part, they don't have to worry about lions and leopards and hyenas harassing them. They can just take it easy, stay nice and cool. I feel like it's a good gig to be a hippo. Especially if you're a hippo in a place where there's no lions and things like that. I mean, then it's even better because you don't really have to worry about anything. You just cruise around and eat food and live your best life. I would imagine this hippo must be Dewey. Did you have him with a stick the other day, Nadine? Yes, that would be him then. Loves a stick, old Dewey. Very odd thing. You can see how he's just walking along the bottom, slowly making his way to the middle of the dam. He always does this when you come and park this side. He tries to get towards the dam, and I would have expected him to be here because of the ellies. When elephants are around, hippos always try and move away from them to the opposite side. They don't like being close to the ellies because the ellies make a lot of commotion and splash about and do elephant things. So it's nice for them to get away and get out of the chaos that can be an elephant. Andrew, you can. No, I was going to say this hippo is exactly 18 years of. No, I'm joking. It's not. It's there's no way really. Once they're adults, they're adults. There's not really a way to tell how old they are. It would be a complete random guess, and I don't think you'd get it right very easily at all. Hippos, once they're fully grown, it's anyone's guess as to how big they are. Obviously, when they're not fully grown, then you can roughly age them, but once they reach this size, you've got no clue as to how old this animal is. I suppose when it opens its mouth, you could see how worn the teeth are and see the sort of size of the teeth and those kind of things, as well as the scarring and the sort of condition of the ears. But it would be very difficult to know for sure how old they are. Oh, look at you performing. That was quite nice. That's cool. Anyway, we'll just carry on sitting with our hippo for a little bit and see what else comes our way.
We have an exciting announcement. Wild Earth is launching a YouTube membership program. For a nominal monthly fee, members get an ad-free channel, prioritized questions, early access to videos, and many more perks. You'll get fun features like badges and emojis that'll make you stand out in the chat. YouTube memberships will help us to continue with our mission of connecting people with nature while giving you access to lots of our amazing content.
Right, well, our Ellie's disappearing off, I think going to go and join the others. That's where they all went. I'm sure Dewey will be happy that there's no pool party taking place at his waterhole. This particular dam is not very big, so if you had to get 4 or 5 bull elephants in here swimming, this poor hippo would get pushed right into the corner and be probably quite grumpy about the whole thing. So I'm sure he's glad that the Ellies have decided to move off and do their own thing. We'll try and see if we can't catch up with those Ellies again just now. I just want to check if there's not any more that are coming. Sometimes you get this where it's like a string of bulls that come. So it's like 2 or 3 and then a break and another one and a break and another one. So I just want to sit for 2 or 3 minutes just to check if there isn't any others that are going to make their way down. I wonder if they might head more up towards, they're kind of heading towards Gari Dam. I believe there's some buffalo there too, so they might head that way, but it'll take them a long time to get there, particularly because they'll feed before they make it that side. Right, okay, doesn't seem like too much more is coming our way, so let's go carry on, see if we can catch up with those Ellies.
Thank you, Trist. And we've got a beautiful red-crested korhaan. It is just moving along the firebreak here, busy feeding on some insects and some seeds here. As you see, grabbed something there now. I'm not too sure what. But it's nice to get these korhaans again on a screen. Slowly but surely getting into this time of the year where the grass is now just becoming a little bit lower and not as thick. And then we can get to see these birds moving around here. Alright, you're not going to get to see that again. I think he's gone straight in there. Alright, I'm going to just go. Just want to see. Just want to take a look here. Alright, get it here. Alright, there it is. Hello. Once again. So I've seen the red crest once, display of the red crest once, and that's it. So that's very, very uncommon to get to see them pretty much displaying those red feathers on top of their head. But it is there, you can see it's so well camouflaged. Yeah, that brown really blends in with the surrounding. And spends most of the day on the ground. Of course, if there is any predators or if it's in danger, it can fly. Gabby, yes, it's just the male that's got the red crest. He displays it when there's a little bit of courtship with a female. He'll display that red crest and then he'll actually bounce around her. He'll do like a little dance around her, and it is quite an amazing sighting. As I said, I've only seen it once, and that was on Arathusa Safari a few years ago, or quite a few years ago, like many years ago. And now and again, the males will also display to the female by flying straight up into the air, and then they'll forget how to fly. They'll tuck their wings in, and then they'll drop out of the sky like a stone coming down to the ground, and just before they hit the ground they'll open their wings to have a proper landing. And sometimes are pretty much off with their timing, and if they get that timing wrong it could be fatal. So he's moving further in. I'm going to lose it now. Yes, Jilliby, very good camouflage, a great sighting. That's always nice to see them. But they will start calling around about July, August. Males, and that will start displaying and calling. And That's when a breeding season is pretty much upon them. As I say, that is usually around about September, October. All right, looks like it's going. All right, Paul, looks like we are losing that Kohan. Let's continue with our safari. All right, well, we're gonna continue with our drive. Sounds like Tristan is going up to Gowrie Dam, so I might just turn in the Treehouse Dam, Twin Dams, and go that way. While we do that, let's head over to Eric.
So we've left our big boy and his devices. He kept disappearing behind bushes, and we felt that rather we'll leave him alone and maybe come visit him a little bit later, because he's obviously already been to the watering hole and he's already done his mud wallowing, mud throwing. Ooh, there's somebody right there. Who's that? Oopsie daisy, a little bumpiness. Here we go. There's another elephant. It looks like a female, which would mean, if that's a female over there, that the herd has come back up to our side of the woods. Listen, in the dune thicket. Have a look, see here. Who is that? But too far for me to tell. Binoculars, a great invention. The verkijkers in Afrikaans. That is a young bull. I don't know why I said female immediately. That is Kula. Kola, however we want to pronunciate it. But that is one of the other young bulls that we saw yesterday. He was in the head of the pack. And it's also one of the young bulls that's been with the herd. So if he's here, it is possible that the herd have come back as well, which is very exciting, actually. Because normally once they've been in the dune thicket, they don't generally come back for a few days. Martha, the ones with no tusks, I'd say. Baluleka, very easy to ID. She looks, she's probably, I don't want to be rude, but she is the wrinkliest elephant. So you can basically tell from her from anyone else. She's not the oldest, however. She's just the wrinkliest. And then there's Azika. Azika, you can notice because he looks like a sub-adult that's just only starting to grow their tusks out, but he has no tusks and he's almost fully adult. He's pretty easy to find. And then I suppose, well, with the tracking collars, Letitia and Butti, really, because one, Butti is very big. You can see that he's a bull, so you know him immediately. And then Letitia as well. I would say those guys are the easiest. Afstad, I think, Afstad must take the cake. If you can see him from behind, you know immediately. You don't even have to look at his face. You know that it's Afstad, and it's all in the name. Afstad, half tail, because he only has half of a tail. I have no idea what happened to the other half of the tail. From what I understand, he arrived here with that half tail. I suspect something happened when he was not an infant, but a young little baby elephant. I'm not hearing much movement. was seeing. Oh, never mind. There's some members. Okay. There's Letitia.
This is On Safari.
Today. From that. These elephants are all over the place. We thought that we only had one, and that one disappeared. And then as that one reappeared, they all started to come out. And we had this long little line, a trickle of elephant bodies. Yes, it's a very unhappy impala. And this time it's not my stomach. It is a real impala, and he is rutting. We're just going to move our bodies to another location. Be able to gaze upon these elephants. GDP, these elephants, they surprised us. We weren't looking for them, they were looking for us. And they found us. We found each other, which is great. I'm just gonna go to a little further up the road where we can have a look. There's a little pan that we were sitting next to, which we suspect that they are going to go to. So that's what is our plan. We're gonna just pull in here. There's a little bit of water. Oopsie daisy. Oh, there we go. Oh. That is a mother and daughter duo over there. Those two elephants have had more babies on this reserve than any others. They've each had 5. Unfortunately, Letitia has lost one little baby that died. Mbalo has all of her children, and they are still in the herd. Oh, there's a bit of a run now for the water. Afstat is Letitia's firstborn, and then Mbalo's to follow. So Letitia had one male, one female in her first, I wouldn't say, I don't know, not too sure how old she was when she had those calves, but yeah, her first calf was Afstat. Oh my goodness. She's really embracing the spirit. Cover yourself. It is a warm day. Oh, do you know, Letitia is 43 years old, and Mbalo's turning 26 this year. They're a decent age. I think Mbalo's, she must have started having babies around the age of 12. 12, 13, I think. Okay, I've seen something very interesting here. The rest of the herd have come out, but they're not going anywhere near the pan. They're actually flanking us, the sneaky ones, coming up our side here. But the rest of them have all gone down into this little pan where they are really enjoying. Oh my goodness, they're having a time. There's 9 members in the sea family, and those 9 members are going round this pan. A baby in A family and the baby in C family. We can see the baby, little baby from C family here. I mean from A family, my mistake. But then we know B families here because we can see all the females with no tusks. Baluleka, Bongani. Good spray on the side there. You know, B family is also the smallest family on the reserve. Only terry for them, I think their skin is so thick, I don't think they'll feel that itchiness. Most of the time, they're so used to being covered in this mud, you know. Unlike us, where we're not supposed to be covered in mud. Well, technically we are, but we've strayed so far away from that over the years that our skin has adapted in other ways. Oh my goodness, that elephant is really, it's almost done. Look at that. Having herself an absolute time there. I hope you don't get stuck. She won't get stuck there. She's got plenty of help, but she's definitely making sure that she is covered in mud. Oh my goodness. It would seem most of the elephants down here are doing this very thing. They really are enjoying themselves. This is lovely to see, and this is what we wanted to see. I imagine it must have been a very, very warm walk. I would have had to cross over some very hot sand as well in the dune forest in order to get to this area over here. Oh, this lady's on her way towards us. If it's anything like yesterday, I don't think she should come near us, because yesterday they were throwing sand at us, and now they're covered in mud. I have a strange suspicion we're going to be covered in mud soon. That little baby on the far left-hand side is having a real good time. They're throwing his trunk around, making sure everything is covered in mud. Everything. Not one little inch of elephant must not have mud on it. This is definitely one of Barlow's children. So do you think you could repeat that last message you sent there? And he copied half of it. Oh, look at you. Mindy, they really are. If these elephants are not happy after this, I don't know what's going to make them happy. This is outstanding. And here we have one of Ambalo's little children coming to have a drink. Now, Ambalo's had a couple of babies. She's had Ayanda, she's had Asanda, Ayabonga, Abulele. And I believe that this is Abulele right here. And Abulele is 5 years old. But she doesn't mind. She'll feed her baba. Her big baba. Look at that little one. He looked like he was getting stuck there. And it looks like his... No, that's not a sibling next to him. Oh my goodness, that little young... Oh, that is so cute. Adorable, man. She's definitely waiting for majority of the herd to get going. Down a hill, that little one was indeed getting really greedy with that little tub of mud. Oh. So now it's off for some feeding. If they start moving away, Letitia's still holding the fort down there, making sure that everybody is getting covered in mud, even though she hasn't really covered herself in mud. I think there's the other elephant next to on the left-hand side. Letitia's almost center screen. Oh no, this other elephant is almost center screen, throwing her trunk around like a whip. And it can behave like a whip too. You don't want to get hit by that thing.
Explore the untamed valleys and thickets with Ralph Kirsten.
Beautiful.
Or venture into the wild with Eric Barnard.
I will take you to my favorite places, show you my favorite animals, share the best stories, and you'll definitely be able to watch the stars.
There are only 6 places available on each safari. For more information and to secure your seat, contact Wild Earth Travel.
Letitia, you've always got something to say, don't you? She wanted to wrap her trunk around Morgan's neck like a scarf over there. She felt that you needed something a little warm to wear. Wow, what an amazing sighting. Absolutely amazing. It's always lovely to see elephants at the water, just playing around, throwing all over themselves, and they were acting like little children, like pigs in the mud. They really had an absolutely astonishing time. Now, they've dug also some... they've made those little kind of craters in this pan deeper. And I feel for some of the warthogs that are going to come and do some mud wallowing in here now, because they're going to struggle to climb out. It's all fun and games going in. That's fine. You can go and do your mud wallowing, but then when your hooves are covered in the sticky, slimy mud, and now you've got to climb out of it, they're going to have to start putting step ladders in there for them.
Right, so we're just bumbling around. Sorry, there's somebody that just radioed me about an update. Asking about the Kambulas where we left them stationary this morning. It would have been quite nice to have left them stationary this morning. It definitely was not the case at all. They are very far away from where we are right now. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We just slowly bumbling. Our elephant bull went into a little thicket, just feeding his way along very slowly. So we decided we'd try to see if we can just go down and just check. You never know. Maybe Tortoise Pan decided to move, but I doubt it. It's hot today, and it was hot from early this morning, so I'm pretty sure he's just passed out still close to the Little Gowrie camps. If you take this road, Weaver's Nest, and you cross over the boundary, and then you go straight south on a road that's called Lucas Open, it takes you straight to the camp where he's sleeping, but he's behind that to the sort of western side, so it's not far. Hey 40, you say your daughter Freya would love to know how big Juma is. So Juma is 1,200 hectares or 2,400 acres, and then Chitwa, which we also traverse, is another 400. It's another 800 acres. So I don't know whereabouts in the world you are, but hopefully those two numbers will be able to work either in acres or hectares. So it's not a huge area. It's big enough, and it's actually amazing what we see on this property considering its size. But yeah, it's big for some people because a lot of people aren't used to big open spaces and live in cities. But in terms of wild spaces, this is very, very, very small. To give you an idea, the Kruger National Park just within South Africa is 2.2 million hectares. So we are 1,200 of the 2.2 million. That should put things into perspective as to how much of a drop in the ocean we are. And then if you think about how many animals are within that system, in the 2.2 million hectares, you've got a population of what they reckon to be about 2,000 lions. And so if you do all the numbers of this, I would love to know. I offhand probably can't do it now. I'd need a calculator for this because my brain is not very mathematical. But if you work out a percentage of what 1,200 hectares is into 2.2 million and then divide 2,000 into that, it'll be interesting to know the number of lions we see versus the percentage of land that we have. Number of lions versus the percentage of population and land. I think we'd probably find we have quite a high population of lions. That's just an example. Same with leopard and things like that too. So yeah, not very large. But anyway, talking about leopards, Michael Fleetwood, you were asking me if there's any other updates about any of the other cats and cubs, etc. So of the northern cats, Watika Monzo, not that I've heard. They spend so much time in Kruger, both those cats, that it's very difficult to know what's going on with them, but I've not heard any sign of cubs for those two. Then Leluka, not Leluka, sorry. I'm just going to, I've gone blank now. It'll come to me shortly. It's the female up in the north, but she's so shy and skittish. She's very difficult to find. So you guys don't really see much of her. And then obviously Cara hasn't been seen all that much lately. I saw somebody posted on the Buffelshoek group that we have on WhatsApp that she was seen, this was about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I want to say, somewhere there. I'll double check when we're off there. Being attacked by trees. But in the meantime, let's send you across to Cedric, who's arrived at Buffelshoek Dam.
Right, well, we did have a grey heron in frame, but that grey heron just walked straight out of frame now and into the thickets. But we got, at least we've got the crocodile here at Buffelshoek Dam, just relaxing here in the water for the afternoon, having a nice little Sunday afternoon float around. I haven't really seen this crocodile feeding on anything else recently. About 3-4 weeks ago, it caught a baby, a waterbuck here at the dam, and devoured that entire waterbuck. And now again, they'll also feed on some fish that's swimming around at the dam. I think usually on a hot day like that, you'll find many times the crocodiles, all the reptiles will be doing a bit of sunning, warming up their bodies. Looks like this crocodile's already done that. It's probably just having a bit of a snooze here now, waiting for something, some opportunity. William, I've seen crocodiles at little pans. There's no rule of thumb on how deep a dam must be before a crocodile hangs there. So I've seen crocodiles coming through at some of these small pans, ending up at a pan for a day or two, then moving on to the next one until they get to a proper water source. So it's so difficult to say exactly what the crocodile is going to enjoy. Most of the time, you'll find that the crocodile will actually try and get to a water source that is going to be, I'm going to say, full of water throughout the year. I saw the elephant walking there, but I think it's moving through the other inflow. Yeah, it's going that side. Sorry, there's just a big male elephant. I think we might have to go back a little bit, Paul. Okay. You're right, Paul? Yeah. We go a little bit back here. There is a big male elephant approaching the dam. I don't know where and how. Yeah, let's go on to the other side, onto the dam wall. Or what do you think? I just want to see which way it's going to go from there. We might get it nicely, yeah. Don't turn right, turn left, come this side of the bush. There we go, this side of the bush. Thank you. Nice elephant bull coming down for a nice water. You might even jump into the water, you never know. On a nice hot afternoon like this, you're hoping that this elephant might have a bit of a swim. Maybe it will splash itself full of water and as well having a good old afternoon drink. Beautiful boy. Ozzy, looks like elephant day today. I can have elephant day every day. It'll be fantastic. Always lovely to watch these animals. Nice big boy, nice big tusks on him, nice and thick tusks. Not long, but... Where are you going there? I wonder if he's going to end up with a crocodile. It'll be funny. I'm sure that crocodile will swim away. All right, so we got the Grand Tour coming up, and that's between the 16th of November to the 23rd of November 2024. And that is going to be hosted by the naturalists, some old and some new, at Pungwe Safari Camp, as well as Chitwa. And there's a place for 8 bookings, and yes, availability for those bookings are open. So please make sure that you go and see if you can jump on board with us from the 16th of November to the 23rd of November, as well as take a filming masterclass with Lauren and Darby. He's going back that way again. He's not making... What's wrong with you? He's not making up his mind. Oh, let's go around, because I can just see we're going to lose him here. Alright, let's go around. Sorry, Paul, you're right there. Excuse me. Going back to the inflow there. He was there a little bit earlier when we arrived, and then he went all the way around, had a sip of water, and then went back that side again. I'm a little bit confused. Off he goes. Bye, Mr. Elephant. Have a lovely day further.
We've managed to catch up with these beautiful creatures. They haven't come very far away from where we last saw them. And we were talking about their trunks and how important their trunks are to them and how they use them on a daily basis. You can see they're using them for grazing. The trunk itself has 100,000 different muscles and tendons within it to help it obtain the mobility that it has. It's strong enough to lift up a little baby, maybe not so little baby, but strong enough to lift babies clear of the banks of rivers, ponds, dams, pans, to safety, just anywhere out of any dangerous situations. But it's also capable of picking up something as very light and flat as a needle on a flat surface. And they've got these, it's two parts of the trunk basically at the entrance that kind of close like fingers. Nicole, that's mainly used for swatting away flies that are in the region that the tail can reach. And something for a little baby to hold on to. Other than that, there's not really much use for the elephant's tail. As most tails are used for, that's what they're used for swatting away flies, pesky creatures of all kinds. Oh, that is adorable. Look at that little baby. And this baby's finally got the hold of using his trunk. Obviously, for the first 6 months, it would have been a bit of a struggle. And 2 months after that, it would have still been a little bit of a struggle, but he would have slowly started to learn how to use it. And now he's seen, both of them are seen throwing sand all over themselves and pulling sticks and breaking sticks from trees and branches and all sorts. Pretty impressed with this little guy and his cousin / brother on the other side of the herd, who has disappeared. Not too sure where that side of the herd has gone. Ruth, I think the name is what I heard. No. Well, the elephants are allowed to roam around anywhere around South Africa. They are just not South Africa, anywhere around Amakhala. They are just restricted once they get to our boundary. They cannot go further than that. So we are a closed area where they roam on 8. Well, the main reserve is about 6,000 to 7,000 hectares. That's what they roam. And we're hopefully going to be joining some more reserve together to make even more. So they're probably going to have access to the full 8,500 hectares of Amakhala. Other than that, there is no other places where they can go. But this is more than enough space for them. More than enough space. If they take a day, maybe, just sort of a day to get from one side of the reserve to the other. Plenty feeding and water sources in between. I think it's a perfect habitat for a herd's the size of this herd. And for those who don't know, this is a herd of 28 to 30 elephants. They all seem to be disappearing into the thicket up there. I wonder what the mission is here and why they're covering ground at not a rapid pace, but this is fairly quick. Remember, I was speaking about it earlier when we were sitting with Collier, how the females, they feed quickly and the males feed slowly. The males wouldn't even be down here already. They would still be at the pan, feeding around the pan. But for the females, they don't see any potential food around that area, so they move the herd on to other areas where they know that they can find food on the way to wherever it is. Now, I will remind you that even though tomorrow we will be doing our non-content, we won't be going live. Tuesday morning at 6 o'clock, we are going to be heading out and we are going to be live until 9 o'clock. And then we'll do the same thing in the afternoon. We will head out at 3 o'clock to be back at 6 for our sunset safari. So we'll be live on Tuesday, both sunrise safari and sunset safari. Please don't forget to tune in. We're going to catch up with these elephants. In the meantime, while we do that, we're going to send you back up to Cedric to see what exactly it is that he is doing.
Thank you, Eric. And we've got looks like some zebra that's ahead of us here on the boundary. Looks like 2 zebra, 3, 4, a whole lot. A dazzle of zebra that's approaching us. That is so nice. I'm just going to sit here so they approach us. Nadine would love this. It's Nadine's favorite animal. It's a zebra. And she's not on my vehicle this afternoon. Yeah, at least Paul and myself got some peace and quiet. Look how nice is this. Nice herd coming up this side. So it looks like a stallion that might be leading them in. Look at the little one. Look at the little one on the right hand side. Many times they look quite big. We think they look pregnant, but a lot of fermentation taking place in their tummies and of all the gas, and makes them look quite bloated. Sometimes it seems like they are pregnant, but it's not the case. This is nice. All of them walking slowly up towards us. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3 adults and a foal. That's very nice. I'm not sure this one's closest to us. Looks like it's been rolling in a lot of sand and dust. Nice dust bathing. Sometimes you'll see even stallions will do that quite a bit, and it leaves them with a bit of a brownish tinge on their coat from all the dust, all the dirt. So I'm sure this is the stallion that's leading his 2 mares and the foal. This is wonderful. Yes, Lily Mouse, it's nice seeing the zebra's faces. And the little one is so cute. It's all fluffy. Oh, little small, fine hairs all along this little one's body. Interesting marking as well on the leg. All the zigzags, even like the line is kind of almost 2 or 3 of the black lines have been smudged. So each one has got a different pattern. It's just like us with our fingerprints, very unique to each individual. Always nice to look at some of these patterns here. Such a stunning animal. Look at all the little zigzags. Nice one, Paul. That back leg, eh? Very, quite a bit of squiggles around there. Canine girl, yes, very nice. And moving from one, I'm thinking canine girl, I think exactly these zebras, moving from one open clearing and heading to the next open clearing. Because remember, they're very much plains game. Oh, there we go. Trottity trot, troppity trot. Listen to my hooves. It was nice. All right. Well, they are on a mission, so I'm not going to continue following that side. It looks like they on their own little mission there. So my mission for now this afternoon is that we are on the eastern side. I'm going to head down towards Chitwa. I'm going to try and follow up on that young male lion, the Talamati male. See if we get lucky with him that side. Let's go.
Discover the wonders of the wild with Safari Snaps, Africam's fun community game. Immerse yourself in the captivating live streams of animals in their natural habitat, and showcase your wildlife expertise by tagging these incredible species with their photos. Simply tag the animal you spot. Each tag earns you points based on the rarity of the species. The rarer, the more points you score. Join us on Safari Snaps and let's celebrate the wonders of African wildlife together.
This is Miss Baluleka. She's the matriarch of B family. The 46-year-old, sorry. The 46-year-old lady. And she is still doing wonders. Here's her daughter, Miss Bongani. Hello, Bongani. Sure, what's your hurry? Are you just following mom? Followed by the rest of the herd. They're all starting to head into some very thick bushes. What did I do to you? I did nothing to you. You just little grumpy grump. It's interesting.
bumbling around. It's deathly quiet at the moment. There's not really been any birds to look at. Kind of been trying to find some. Sometimes when you just start changing your approach and doing a bit of birding, then things change, but no luck so far with any sort of worthwhile birds either, which is quite sad. I was hoping we'd maybe find some things in the Mulawati, but there was not much there. What is that in front of us? An elephant, I think. Is it an elephant or is it a rhino? It looks like a rhino's. Two rhinos. Nice. That's cool. There we go. That's quite good to find. And if it's a cow or calf, or if it's a... I'm just going to pull off the side of the road. They seem to be coming sort of straight up the road, so hopefully they can just come to us. Oh, it's my old friend. It's the old female that is coming up the road. Hello, girl. She's very pretty. Haven't seen her in a long time. She's looking well, which is good. She went through quite a rough patch at one point where, it's about 2 years ago, she was really struggling with something, and she was skinny, and not looking good at all. So that's nice to see her back up and running again. Now, as they slowly start meandering towards us, I believe some of you were asking about Marips, and so we gave an update, I think yesterday morning, afternoon, and this morning, but for those of you that missed it, he was seen in Buffelshoek yesterday morning, yesterday afternoon, and I believe briefly this morning, but he had a full belly yesterday apparently, and that his wound is healing nicely, and he was relaxed and looking good, hunting impalas. So happy days from that point of view. Seems like Marips is doing well. I think he's obviously got a long way to go until he's perfectly sorted, but it is encouraging update to see that he's that side and is busy moving about and hunting and finding food. Those are all good things. His last direction apparently was south towards Djuma side, but yeah, he was still a little bit further afield and hadn't crossed by the time I asked. Maybe this evening or tomorrow morning we might pick him up somewhere, which will be nice. How cool is this though? So epic. Oh, lovely. Thanks, girl. That's delightful. Can always count on a big pachyderm to drop a big bomb. No, they don't always move around in pairs. Bulls typically on their own. So big males move around by themselves. And then what you'll find is cows and calves can group together. And so sometimes you'll have pairs like this. And then sometimes you'll have rhinos kind of coming into bigger groups. The biggest group I've ever seen in this reserve was many years ago, though. It was in 2010. I had 17 of them together. So they do form big groups sometimes. Same with black rhinos. Black rhinos most of the time are on their own, but at night in certain parts where it's very dry, they'll actually come together and form groups together, which is pretty crazy. So you will get, especially in parts of Namibia, you get these congregations of black rhinos at night at waterholes. It's quite amazing to actually see. Let's see, they've got some little oxpeckers that are floating about on them. There's one there. They often like to sit on the front of the head. They sit on the horn area and then they wipe their beaks on their forehead of the rhino. It's nice and sort of easy to sit there. It's like a little ledge that they can grip onto, like that one right there. Gemma say, oh my heart, how you love these beauties. They are amazing creatures, aren't they? And it's so nice that we can actually talk about them and show them to all of you guys. There was a period of time where we didn't show them at all, but it's always been one of those things that I've kind of felt very conflicted about. I mean, obviously I know it was done for the right reasons, but if we don't talk about them and we don't show them and we don't have conversations, then it's almost like we're trying to sort of glaze over the problem and forget that they exist almost, which is sad because they're such an iconic animal worldwide. And it's one of the things about Africa is we have these animals that transcend boundaries, and people, doesn't matter where they are in the world, know about them, and this is one of those animals. So to be able to actually show them and for you guys to learn about them and to see them and to become familiar with certain individuals that we have here, it goes a long way to people caring a little bit more, and therefore hopefully we start to think about how we protect them better than we currently are now. Obviously the dehorning, which you can see these animals are dehorned at the moment, dehorning is vitally important. It really has caused a massive reduction in the number of poaching incidents through this greater Kruger Park area, and so it's a kind of one of the components of trying to keep rhinos safe, but educating people, working, better ways of prosecuting those that hunt them, so law changes in that, as well as dehorning on the ground, anti-poaching. It's all good. And can you zoom into her back horn for me, the back female and the back horn? I just want to see, there's like a white ring there, and I think those might be, I'm trying to see with my binos, but those might be eggs for a very specific type of fly that lays its eggs on rhinos. It's a kind of bot fly, and they lay their eggs on the bases of the horns of rhinos. It looks very much like those are eggs. And so it's something that you only see on rhinos. It is indeed. So that's that rhino bot fly that they get. You can see, look at how close she comes. She's so cool. It's crazy to think that she's been around ever since I've been in the Sabi Sands. And I was talking to another friend of mine, Ryan, who's guided longer than I have, and he's seen this rhino since he started guiding too. And she was already an adult by then, so she's an old girl, and she's come through more than most animals will have in their lives, and survived being attacked by a big bull. That's some of the wounds that she's got. She's been burnt in a fire. She's had a tough time. She was attacked by the Telemates as well. Let me see if I can just turn around. Nikes, sorry, just fighting with Wendy a little bit. At what length does a rhino's horn get taken off once it's been dehorned? So that's really dependent on the reserve. Generally, you find that each animal will be dehorned around every 18 months. And the horn at that point would probably be about 7 to 10 centimeters of growth from when it was last dehorned. As you can see, they don't dehorn completely flat, particularly not the front one, because they don't want to damage the actual growth bed of that horn. So they normally, in terms of measuring it out, is you just go onto the face and you put your 4 fingers like this onto the horn, and then you just chalk around on top of your 4 fingers, and that allows you then to be able to measure from where you're going to cut, and you won't actually damage anything. So you just cut it off, and then the really good vets will use either a chainsaw or a grinder, and they'll round the horn out nicely and just clean it up, and then they use hoof oil from horses and they paint it on just so that it is in good condition and that these animals don't get any sort of issues. But what's really interesting is how many times I did the big dehorning operation last year where we did lots and lots of rhinos, over 100 of them, and it's amazing how many times you cut the horns even of animals that are not dehorned before, and they all have abscesses inside there. It's quite a common thing with rhinos. Anyway, we'll follow these guys a little bit. In the meantime though, let's send you across to Cedric. Sounds like he's got some cat luck for our Sunday.
Well, thanks, Tristan. As you can see, we've got some beautiful cat paws, big front cat paws. That is facing towards us. Isn't that stunning? And then we've got a nice young male lion fast asleep, absolutely passed out here on the Chitwa New driveway, on the driveway itself. So nobody can get past him. And there's guests coming to the lodge, or there's staff leaving the lodge or coming to the lodge. Well, they'll have to make sure that they can try and get around him, because he ain't moving. He's passed out. The king of the road for the afternoon. So this male is the Talamati young male. That's the male that has been hanging around the Nkuhuma Pride for the last several weeks. But all of a sudden now he is by himself. Now, why is he by himself? No idea. Maybe he had an altercation with the pride itself, or maybe the Kambula males, or even the Plain Camp male lions could have come in and chased those females and chased him as well, and that's why he's come all the way here onto Chitwa. Very possible. Very possible, but it doesn't look like he's got any new injuries. Well, not that we can see. But you can see he is even dreaming. You can see his jaw moving. He's chewy. He's busy dreaming about chewing on a buffalo or something. Look at that. That is so cute. His bottom jaw going there. Lola, thank you for joining us. Yes, some nice cat luck for the Sunday afternoon sunset safari. And he is fast asleep. But they don't go into a complete deep sleep at all. So if poor myself, even his tail's he's having twitches all over the show. Maybe his paws will start going. But if Paul and myself have to climb out the vehicle now, his ears is working, his nose is working. Of course, his eyes is closed, but the other senses are working. And he'll pick up on us getting off the vehicle very quickly, and you'll see him jumping up, and that won't be good for us. But we won't do that, of course. If in case like buffaloes or elephants or something is moving past here, you'll hear those animals moving past. And he'll quickly investigate on what is heading his way. They used to have a brother, and there used to be two males, and several months ago they actually went into the Kruger Park. They were seen both in the Kruger National Park, and then all of a sudden just this male returned from that area. So what happened to his brother? No idea. It could have been fatal for some reason, maybe having a fight with other males, but we haven't got any clue on that.
Explore the untamed valleys and thickets with Ralph Kirsten.
Beautiful.
Or venture into the wild with Eric Barnard.
I will take you to my favorite places, show you my favorite animals, share the best stories, and you'll definitely be able to watch the stars.
There are only 6 places available on each safari. For more information and to secure your seat, contact Wild Earth Travel.
Alright, I think we're going to just move forward, just catch up with our rhinos a little bit, and we'll spend some time with them because our kite is just sitting ever so quietly up on top of the tree. So I'm interested to see where these guys go, because it doesn't look like they've had a wallow yet, these rhinos, so it would be nice if they went and wallowed somewhere. Rhinos in mud is always fun, because especially when they roll and kind of make themselves covered, it's a nice thing to see. But you'll see that the oxpeckers are congregating a lot on her legs, and that's because of the wounds that she's got on her legs. If you look at the wounds, you'll notice that they're open. And remember that oxpeckers are not birds that are eating ticks because they're insectivorous. They're eating ticks because they contain blood, so blood is what they're after. They're seguinivores. And so the open wounds like that is a great place where they can farm blood. They'll peck at it and make it bleed, and then they drink it and lap it up as they go. Very, very cool sighting, though, to see these guys. I think I'm going to hang out with them for a little bit this afternoon.
Alright, well, we just repositioned here quickly, and as you can see, at least you can see the front of his face, but he has got such a huge head. He's a big boy. Of course, fantastic genes. His father is the dark mane male line, and yeah, I do apologize, it is a little bit of noise coming from another vehicle here, but I think they're all just chatting about this lion at the moment, as you can see. Fast asleep for now. So apparently he was calling for the rest of the Nkuhuma pride last night. I think they got separated due to a hunt that they were on, maybe hunting some buffaloes and that, and got separated. But it doesn't take long for them to find one another. A little bit of contact calling tonight. He'll pick up on where they are replying, and then he'll head straight into that direction. But he is beautiful. It's just his head, his size, it's amazing. And Paul, he's big boy, they say. That's right. Tonsils, yes, that's correct. Tonsils, eh? Tonsils, yeah, he had a third brother, and yeah, he disappeared. Right, I think in the beginning of 2022, end of 2021, that's at that time. And then he was left just with the two boys, and then they got chased apparently by the Kajima males into the Kruger National Park, him and his brother. And then a few months later, this male returned back into the northern Sabi Sands, into this area. He's very much used to this area. He knows this area. He's brought up in this area. Come back into this area and without his brother. So we don't know what happened to the other one, as I explained a little bit earlier. But he's feeling very comfortable with the Nkuhuma pride. And it's almost like they've accepted him. I'm not too sure where the rest of the pride is, the Nkuhuma pride. I think they might have gone a little bit further into another property called Vessels, Nets, that side, maybe south of Chitwa, maybe a little bit west of Chitwa, that area. That's exactly where they were hunting last night. But look at him, fast asleep. And even for his age, I think they're coming up to about 5 years old now. So that's, for his age, he hasn't got much of a mane. But I'm sure that mane, as soon as they become dominant males and territorial males, you'll find that that mane will grow very quickly because of the testosterone, as well as just to show that they are becoming adults. They're very important for them. But I can't wait to see his mane grow. I can't wait to see. It looks like he might actually have the coloration of a little bit of a, how can I say, a light brown color to his mane. And he is not fazed about anybody. I think even if vehicles really come past here now, as a few vehicles have approached the sighting, and he just did not even open his eyes at all, did not even flinch. He's been dreaming most of the time. Now sometimes you'll find single males like this one. Now, if he's single and find another male that's also a single male and hasn't got a coalition, sometimes you'll find that they will actually form a coalition. Oh, there comes another vehicle now. Oh, there comes like now a service vehicle. So that does happen. It's happened with Nkuma, a young male. I think it was Nkuma. I think his name was Junior, if I'm not mistaken, or Junior. And he hooked up with another male from the Styx Pride, and then they formed a coalition of 2 males. It's not a common occurrence. It doesn't always happen, but there has been cases that is known in the last 4 or 5 years for that to play out. Look at those paws. They're like dinner plates. They're huge. He's huge, this guy. Oh, a little bit of an eye that's open. A little bit, half an eye. And see all the flies buzzing around his ear. You can imagine how irritating that must be. No, there's only one eye's open. Yeah, I'm looking at you, Sidhu. Looking at you, Paul. Oh, yes. And now that is the way you lie on a driveway. That's it. It's like me when I was a kid, when I used to play outside my house and I used to lie on the driveway as well. I'm doing that sometimes. I feel a little bit more comfortable like that. I won't stay for too long, then I'll roll over again. But usually on very hot days, they'll expose that white belly. Expose it and keep nice and cool that way. As you know, white reflects, and the tawny color draws in more heat. So if it's a hot day, rather just get that white belly up in the sky. He's gonna roll over now. Pam, yes, you can imagine it'll be nice for him to join. Bye. Somebody just a little kid here from one of the lodges saying hello. Just greeting us. Yeah, it'll be nice for him, Pam, if he joins up with the Talamati female, as well as those 2 sub-adults. You can imagine that. Let's just help them a little bit more, but I don't think that'll happen, because they are not, pretty much that young male is not really related to this male. A little bit of like distance, yeah, like a distant relations, but not direct. Yes, Kainan, he does have a lot of courage to be by himself. But yeah, he's not going to do too much now. So I'm hoping we are going to move on from here. I'm just waiting for other vehicles to start coming in here. Just letting Tadiwa know. But we're not going to get much more out of him for the time being. And we might just shoot up towards the airstrip a bit and go look what's happening around that side. We're having a lot of sleepy cats, sleepy lions over the last 2 days. Actually, yesterday morning the kambulas weren't too bad, eh? Yeah. They were nice.
We did have some lions. Cedric's probably going to follow that one.
Right, we've left our big herd of elephants just for the time being. They've moved themselves into a very dense thicket. It does look like they are on the move, so we're just going to do a bit of bumbling around. I apologize for the fence here. We are on our most southern border, southwestern border actually, because the fence line's going to go into the corner down there. But we're here hopefully looking for a specific creature, or 3 of them. I shall not give away any other information. We'll keep you guessing, but hopefully we find them. Hopefully it's a bit of excitement. Smell all the places where, oopsie daisy, where they'd been weeing. But this is a 4-legged creature. It has teeth, it has eyes, it has fur. They eat all sorts of things. I will not disclose what they eat. Oh, this is naughty. People going around the potholes here. Oh, making new roads, I see. What other clues can I give you? They've got a long tail, small, roundish ears. It's fairly longish legs. Fairly longish legs. I wonder if anybody's got what we are looking for here. For our regular viewers, you might know exactly what it is that we are looking for just by being along this fence line. These characters normally tend to hang around the fence line, and I believe they are somewhere that side. This could be a tricky one, but it could possibly work. Before I share any more information, I'll say the sun is slowly starting to go down, so the light is changing, but it's also behind some clouds, which means that it's not as bright as what it would be, maybe giving off more of a glare. The temperatures also start just a little bit of the time. But it's not a problem for a little bit later. For the time being, we are still sitting in some fairly warmish weather. The wind seems to have died down. I'm going to touch wood right now. The wind seems to have died down just a little bit, which is also quite nice. It's not blowing a cold breeze. The air is not necessarily warm. The air is still cold. It's the sun that is warm. So if you sit in the sun and you sit still, then it's perfectly fine. But as soon as we start driving through the SERP, as soon as we start driving through the air, then it actually gets a little bit cold. I first experienced this in the Western Cape, and I thought it was normal for the Western Cape. But then last year, I did experience it quite substantially. It was fine. It's always good. It's when you know that there's a change in the seasons, which is just as cool. We are going to sit here a little bit longer and wait for our little creatures to come out. In the meantime, we're going to send you over to Cedric, who's got a feline. Pun intended.
Hey, Eric, locate on the 3 amigos, those male cheetahs. It'll be fantastic. Well, we are still here with the Talamati male. He is still busy snoozing away. Not. Then Kuhuma Pride is on Vessels. So Vessels is just to the southwest of this property, Chitwa. Apparently. To try to get a hold of Tristan a little bit earlier. Oh, that's nice. I got a brown hooded kingfisher. You think, see there in that tree there. I'm just pointing to him, Paul. Alright. Well, I'm going to show you where this bird is. Let's head over to Tristan.
Well, we are slowly cruising along Gowrie Main. He's still not close, so just trying to see if we can get a bit closer. There's lots of dust as well. I don't know who's ahead of us, but somebody's driving quickly ahead of us. I think they're trying to get into that area before maybe he crosses. There's lots of ellies in the dust though, which is quite pretty. Look at how pretty that is, Panda Bear. It's a bit of a tree in the way, but it is very cool. You won't see much now because of the flare of the sun, but underneath the flare of the sun, which is going to be difficult to focus, is going to be some elephants in the dust. Isn't that cool? I think it looks quite cool. I mean, it's difficult with the flare, but I can try and reposition slightly if you want me to, Panda. But it's very pretty with the dust kind of coming through in the light rays. Maybe let me just turn the car slightly for you so you don't have these big lens flares coming through. That's what happens when the sun hits the elements of glass that are inside the lens barrel, and then it creates an effect where there's... Maybe this one here is going to be better. I think that one there might be better. There we go. That's better, eh? We're going to get bombed now, though. Photo bomb from this Ellie. There's a little one. It's pretty, though. Besides the massive power line pole. The joys of being on Gowrie Main sometimes. But that is very, very, very pretty. I quite like that. Panda's doing a great job making it look good. So well done, Panda. But yeah, we've had a nice afternoon from a point of view of having those sort of big animals that eat a lot of food. They've all been a little bit more out and about. Esther says, "Wow, Panda, that is beautiful." I know Panda's doing a great job here. He's really managed to get that ellie with that dust. And the whole herd now coming across. It's pretty spectacular. Fortunately, there is a vehicle, so Panda's just trying to do his best not to have the car in. So I might just reposition.
From the east, the station that's going to relocate. Do you mind if I relocate?
And there we go. And last one's going to cross shortly. There we go. Oh, that's nice. All right, from Dusty Elephants at sunset, let's send you across to Eric. Sounds like he's got a spotty cat for all of us.
Love to know how many of you guessed the three amigos in our little quiz here. Something fairly interesting. Anyway, this is the first time we've caught up with these cats in the time that we've been back here, and they are obviously they're looking like they're wanting some food, maybe. Looking around, definitely very, very keen. That one male, he's looking over this little valley that's down below here, where they not do most of their hunting, but it's sort of that little valley where their little kind of chill spot or their hanging out spot overlooks. Well, there'll be no animals down there, as those animals will either smell or sometimes they'll actually see the cheetah moving around, and they won't stick around in this area. If they see those three boys around, they know that's bad news. Obviously not as powerful as a lion, but a coalition of three can do fairly well in terms of trying to take down big prey that lions would, if they could, by themselves. And looking a little bit thin, like they haven't had a meal in the last day or so, maybe 2 days. We did see a dead warthog by the waterhole, or one of the waterholes, and that was that warthog that we saw the other day that had been in a bit of a fight. Most of it had actually been polished off, so not too sure if these three amigos had something to do with it, as that waterhole is a water source for them as well. It's a little bit further than one of the water sources that they could go to, but it's still nonetheless one of the water sources in the area, and they will walk fairly far out of this little area where they will do their hunting, and sometimes they won't be successful, but they'll go past the water holes especially.
If we move and hunt, the chances of us coming across line now.
Wembley, no, we have more cheetahs. We have 8 cheetahs altogether. We have these 3 boys, and then we have another 5 on the other side, an area where we call Amma North. It is another area that previously used to be called Carnarvondale. There are 2 lodges on that side, but she is the only predator on that side that we know of. Occasionally there's leopard to that side as well. There's brown hyenas, there's jackals, but there's no other predators like lions, cheetah, or other cheetah. She is there in a sense by herself. There's no rhinos, there's no buffalo, there's no elephant, there's no hippos. There are giraffe and generally all of our plains game that you get on Amakala. And she lives there. She lives a lovely life there with her 4 little cubs. However, she sometimes is a bit elusive and can be a bit difficult to find, especially with those little cubs. Yes, and obviously she wants to protect them as much as possible and prevent them from getting snagged by anything that could potentially do any harm to them. Oh, they're starting to go into that beautiful light.
I want to tell my guests, okay, the paw prints, now what is it? It's the only cat that can't retract its paws completely. So, yeah, and all your cats, you almost have to have retractable claws to be classed as a feline.
Explore the untamed valleys and thickets with Ralph Kirsten.
Beautiful.
Or venture into the wild with Eric Barnard.
I will take you to my favorite places, show you my favorite animals, share the best stories, and you'll definitely be able to watch the stars.
There are only 6 places available on each safari. For more information and to secure your seat, contact Wild Earth Travel.
you could drive past at that distance with
We're still sitting here with our lovely three amigos, and they are doing their own thing. And one of the boys has just dropped down. The others are lying flat in the grass, so they are almost undetectable. If you were an antelope or anybody just walking in this grass here now, and you come across these boys, you are going to get the fright of your life. You won't see them at all. They're not like lying flat either. They're sitting with their heads up, looking around, but their heads, obviously, when they lie down, well, when they lie like this, their heads are not higher than the level of the grass. So they can see a certain distance, which is a safe distance. So if a lion were to come through this area, they'd be able to see that lion coming. But yeah, whatever it was that's walking through the grass here, definitely won't see them. They're very, very well camouflaged in there. It's actually not fair how much they camouflaged in there. This twilight, not really twilight hour, this is golden hour at the moment. But it's going to start going into almost the twilight hours. Those are generally the times that you'll find cats like this and lions are going to be most active. Cheetah have a little bit more of an advantage during the day. Obviously, they're not as built up as a lion is, so they're not going to get as warm or as hot as lions do. A little bit more slender, but they're also built to see in the day a little bit better than lions do. They've got those tear marks that come down, which serve as a glare remover. I didn't copy the name there, but yes, it definitely is time for hide and seek with our three amigos here, and they do it very well. Esther, yes, that's a very, very on cue comment. They these guys are so good at hiding. Even if they didn't want to be seen, they wouldn't be seen. They wouldn't be seen at all. If they adopted the behavior sometimes of Miss Pumelela, we would never see these little kids. Yes, oh, here we go. He's back up again. He must have heard something. Is that something? No, I thought I saw an antelope head. But, no, that's not. I don't think there'll be very many animals in this area for them to feed on. They'd have to do a little bit of walking in order to get there. There may be the odd duiker, the odd warthog or two. And warthogs, they've got to be very careful about going after them. Did you hear that comment? Could you repeat that comment, please? I said something about a meerkat. I suppose it is sitting up like a meerkat looking around. Money, indeed, it did pop up. I did see that. Popped up out of nowhere. Like a meerkat standing up. Looking left, looking right, looking behind him, looking up. Doing it all over again and popping back down. It's just making sure that him and his brothers are safe here and that nobody is sneaking up on them and to give them a fright. Our lions are well, I'm not too sure where they were this afternoon. We got a little bit sidetracked with the herd of elephants and maybe a little distracted. But yeah, I have a feeling the lions are on their way up here, as they haven't come into contact or they haven't seen the amigos, I don't think, in quite some time. So they may be a bit curious as to if they are still around on the reserve or not. Obviously, you know, the lions, they don't want competition, and neither do the cheetahs. They don't want to have to compete to catch food. So obviously the lions are going to want to try and eliminate these boys. These guys are very clever. They're very, very clever. You know, cheetahs have been running away from lions for years. This is not anything new. So the instinct, it's a very important instinct, but once you have that instinct, it's something that it drives you further and higher and higher. They've got to be very careful. And the fact that there's 3 of them here makes it all the more better. There's 3 of them, that means there's 3 sets of eyes to look around and to detect if there are any threats in the area. Oh, we're now starting to go into that perfect golden hour, that perfect lighting here. Amazing, yeah. There are a couple of vehicles here. We're not the only ones that are having a watch, having a look at these beautiful amigos. Zane, we actually have a handful. We've got a handful. We've got the lions, we've got the leopards. Then we've got your opportunistic ones. That will be your brown hyena, your jackal, your art wolf, and occasional leopard, as well as what am I missing? Bat-eared fox is not really predators. They only mostly go after your beetles and small little grubs. Then we've got our birds of prey. There are a couple of birds of prey. We've got the with your kites, your black-shouldered kite. It's not a black-shouldered kite anymore. Your black-winged kite, your yellow-billed kite, your Varro's eagle, your martial eagle, your booted eagle, your forest buzzard, your jackal buzzard, what else? Pale-chanting goshawk, African goshawk, rock kestrels. I think that's about it, really. I'm sure there are more that I've missed out. Long-crested eagle. We don't see them all the time, but we do see them. I think I've covered most of our predators on the ground and in the air. There's also snakes as well. And don't forget about your secretary bird. Your secretary bird is also a predator. This is lovely. This lighting is gorgeous. Maureen, that's a good question. We don't actually know. We haven't been down that... No, we went down that road once, actually. And I think that was yesterday. No, when we went to the meerkats, we went past there, but we didn't see any secretary birds sitting on any nests. We did see a secretary bird, but it didn't stick around for very, very long. It dashed off. And then, obviously, I saw a secretary bird this morning, and that was in the basin. So we're not actually too sure if those secretary birds eventually nested at that spot. But also, now, not necessarily the right time to be nesting. It's cold. But if they want to, they're more than welcome to. Most of the nests of secretary birds that I've been to generally are active nests around like August, September area. Irene, not so much. obviously 2 of these brothers are biological, and then the one is non-biological. They still treat each other like brothers, but they share the responsibility, really. There isn't really a pecking order here. Even when it comes to mating, no, it's very possible with cheetahs, all 3 males will mate with 1 female. And in her litter, it's also very, very possible that she can have 3 males father at least 1 cub from the litter. So 1 male can pass on his genes. All 3 of these males can pass on their genes with a litter, which is, I think, is pretty cool. You know, with most animals, it doesn't matter how many males the female mates with. It's basically on a first come first serve basis, with that little sperm cell swimming into the egg. The first sperm cell to make it there is the first one. But obviously this is very different because she has multiple babies. With antelope, generally they have 1. Elephants will generally have 1. It's mostly cats and cats, pigs, jackals. No, cats, pigs, dogs, and birds that will have more than 1 baby in a litter, in a nest, in a brood.
We have an exciting announcement. Wild Earth is launching a YouTube membership program. For a nominal monthly fee, members get an ad-free channel, prioritized questions, early access to videos, and many more perks. You'll get fun features like badges and emojis that'll make you stand out in the chat. YouTube memberships will help us to continue with our mission of connecting people with nature while giving you access to lots of our amazing content.
Not going out that direction just yet. Hasn't decided where he wants to go. I think he's just waiting for the sun to go down a little bit further. And now little Franklin, what happened there? Well, Franklin just gave off an alarm call and flew off. Just sit tight here for a little bit, you never know, maybe something pops out. I mean, Mulawati's tracks are on Djuma, so it's possible he's around. But I don't think it's a leopard because they don't make that noise for it, but it could have been something like a little slender mongoose or something of that ilk that might be starting to come down to the water for a drink. So last drink of the day, so maybe just worth sitting here for another 5 minutes or so, just seeing if potentially anything makes an appearance. Especially if it's something shy, you don't really want to move too much because they typically then don't come down if the engine starts, but if you're quiet, then it's possible. But yeah,
Alright, so I have left Chitwa, left the Telemati male lion. He's still fast asleep there, but there was other vehicles coming into that area, so we had to make some space and gather space. And now I've made my way back onto Djuma, back into the eastern area of Djuma. I'm going to go up here very slowly. I said maybe he's going to work a little bit on the southern side. I'm going to do a little bit on the eastern side. He's going to try and see if Tortoise Pan doesn't come north. I'm going to see if Tlalamba does not come west. So we are, and it's nice and cool now. The sun has set, so it's a perfect time for some nocturnal animals to start moving around. I'm hoping that we can come right with something very shortly. Very, very shortly. So what I'm going to do from here, I'm going to go straight down on Central, head towards Gowrie Dam. I'm going to take a look at Gowrie Dam, see if any luck that side. But the problem is we haven't seen any trucks crossing from there to here, but you never know. Maybe we missed one. Maybe somebody drove over a truck and we missed it completely. But we will keep our eyes peeled. Eyeballs peeled. Nice and fresh this evening. Lovely, the weather. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Sammy, no, the only new leopard that really is coming to the area that we haven't seen yet. I know the leopard, I've seen him when he was young, is a male called Hlambela. And Hlambela comes from the west, and he was Boulder's, is it Boulder's female leopard's son? Boulders? Is it Boulders? Yeah, it is Boulders. It's the Boulders female son, Hlambela, and his sister's name is Tisela. Oh, Tisela was also beautiful. I love that female in the west. Very cute. But Hlambela apparently has made his way into these areas. I think somebody said was calling Hlambela in this afternoon on one of the properties south of Djuma. So as a young male, and I'm really hoping he's going to come into this area because it's nice just to see him, just once off. It's just once off. He's really the most relaxed male ever. So yeah, that's a new one. Other than that, which other new leopard? See, the Timbavati male hasn't really. I think it came in here once. I think Tess had the Timbavati male once here on Djuma, but I've never seen him. I'm not too sure exactly how far south he comes from the Buffelshoek boundary into Djuma. Very difficult to say. So I've never seen him, the Timbabati male. And then the red hawk male as well, Mazemba. There's a few little leopards around, but more bordering Djuma than anything else, and being inside Djuma. Yeah, we are have to go into infrared very soon. No, we're fine. No, it's fine. Yeah. La da dee, la da da. Oh, see, there's no tracks here. But for what? That's the question. No, there's nothing. I thought there was something. Maybe I thought it was some tracks for a leopardo, but nothing. So, Tadiwa, what did you have for lunch today? I'm asking our director what she had for lunch. Because I care. Oh, that's nice. Tadiwa says she had toast with avo. That is one of my all-time favorite meals. I love toast, but the avo must be then, you mix that vinegar, aromat, pepper, and then you mix it up, and then you put it on toast. Hey? Oh, you like chili flakes on your... What do you think, Mpo? That's your kind? Clearly not. Absolutely no. Paul he's got a lot of one-word answers today, so we just have to smile and wave at the moment for him, and that's about it. All right, well, we're trying to get towards, we're going to head a little bit further west to get towards Gary Dam, see what's happening around Gary Dam. Let's head over to Tristan to see if he has any other luck for the afternoon.
Well, we just left Treehouse Dam. We're just doing a bit of a loop round. Gonna go... Oh... Cute. This is a little one that I've seen tracks for around the place. I haven't shown the tracks or talked about them much, but yeah, there's this little one that's running around, which is very, very cute. Seems like a little shy though still. I don't know how much it's been seen by people. It's not, I mean, it's not tiny. It's at least got a little bit of size to it, but it is very cute. Oh, sorry guys. Let's just turn off for a little bit. Shame, I don't want to chase them. You can see Mom is trotting into the bush there with the little one running in front. Shame, man. Off they go into the thicket. So here there's a car behind me as well. I just want to let them come past. I don't know which way they're wanting to go. Shame, yeah. She seems quite unrelaxed with the vehicles, which makes me wonder if she doesn't come from somewhere. Sally Brown, maybe. I actually saw another one earlier too, so this is the 5th one we've seen this afternoon, which is pretty cool. It's nice that there's a few around. As the winter comes on, we slowly start to see more and more of them coming through. They come down because there's water around, but it becomes a little bit more open, so easier to see them. But I'm not going to go crashing around after those two. It's also getting to the time of the day where it's quite dark, and so I don't want to end up in a situation where I chase them, and it's just not worth it really. We don't want them to be unrelaxed. Just trying to listen to the radio. They're just talking about rhinos, on seeing what they want to do. Anyway, so as I was saying, we're going to do a little loop round, just check and see if maybe by then Tortoise Pan comes over. The sad reality is that if he doesn't cross before the end of the drive, the likelihood of him being here in the morning is probably quite low, because he'll probably walk the property through the night and then be gone by the morning. So kind of need to time it right, and I'm hoping that he's going to pop out fairly shortly. Sorry, I'm just trying to listen. Trying to just hear what's happening there, in case somebody's trying to get hold of us for an update on Tortoise Pan, because the guys said they'll let me know when he gets close to the road, which they haven't yet, so that's why I'm just trying to keep the radio close. Anyway, it's a beautiful evening though. It's got a bit chilly, as you can see. We put on jackets already, but it should not be too bad tonight. Danny, yes. All of our male leopards, unfortunately, are close to other male leopards. It's how it works, is they push their territories out until they meet resistance. So Tortoise Pan's territory butts up against Mulawati, Ingaboswan. In the Far East is a little bit weird, because there we're kind of seeing quarantine coming in and out every now and then, and every now. Well, Ifield used to be out that side. I don't know what's happening with him. I haven't heard much about him lately. And then to the north is theoretically Timbavati and Maribs are hanging around to the north. And then to the western side of him at the moment will be Euphorbia. And I'm trying to think who else would be that side. Probably just Euphorbia mostly. There was a void left by Hosanna, obviously, because that was his boundary to the west. And then to the south, there's also Flat Rock that's there. Senegal Bush was also down to the south, but Senegal Bush has obviously moved now more west. So yeah, that's the current sort of lineup. And then there's the odd youngster that's rolling around in amongst that territory. So Red Hawk does come through a little bit. And then, yeah, I suppose south of that, there's not really too many young males right now that are pushing. In Tommy, who was on Londo's, he's seemingly gone more west, following Dad into Singita. And then Three Rivers young male, I don't know where he is. Haven't heard an update on him in a while. Maxim's is Londolozi, Mala, Split Rock south of that. Nweti south of that, and Nweti's younger male. He's also around that Sabi, Notton, southern Londolozi, Dudley area. So they all kind of combine in, and they all have their little sections and butt up against each other, so there's a lot of overlap that does take place.
This is On Safari.
We won't be able to see the clouds above us, but the clouds above us are what? Bright pink. Well, not bright pink, a light pink, but it's that soft candy floss. Oh my goodness, and it just keeps getting better and better. We really have had some amazing sunsets over the course of these last few days. Definitely better than the sunsets we've had in the last few shifts, I think. I don't know if it's got something to do with the weather. It might. But whatever's happening must continue to happen, because goodness gracious, we are being spoilt in the morning and we are being spoilt at nighttime. Or in the evening, not really nighttime. We really are lucky. Wow, and there's still a decent amount of birds making some beautiful calls.
Right, just coming over Gowrie Dam Wall now at the moment, just coming past the side. Not much happening here. Another one here on the side, and that's about that. I'm just coming just to double check him. You never know. Mulwati, that male leopard, might even make an appearance for us here. So I'm here for now, and I'm just going to quickly double check this area. Go down a little bit further south here, but I'm not going to go too far. Then I'm going to go to our open clearing just to the south of our camp. I'm going to take a look there. It's always nice to get to that clearing. You never know what's going to be walking across there. Oh, Shreya, as you said, was Lauren that saw the Timavati male in 2021. All right. I don't know. Thanks, Reyes. We'll move a little bit further on. Let's go take a look up to this open clearing. Yeah. Oh, there's a hyena, that's all. Okay, let me go quickly. Thanks, Tadiwa. I'm going to turn around. Apparently, there is a hyena that is walking towards the water. Well, the dam is big, so I don't know which way it's walking, but let's go and see if we can see the spotted hyena for the evening. Let's go, Cedric, go. I think that's why they were making a noise. Those little lapwings were going tick, 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 tick. I'm sure they were getting tested by the hyena. Very possible. Let's look. Oh, okay, thanks, Tadiwa. Alright, let's try and get there. It looks like it's going to go on the dam wall. La-dee-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Let's get there, let's get there. You say walking away, Tadiwa? Chopping away from us, moving away from us. Let's quickly look. A lot of watla, yeah. Alright, let's see. Oh, there it is. Hello. I'm not too sure which hyena, but let's get it. Alright, there we go, little spotted hyena. There we go. So it is a hyena, a spotted hyena. Thanks, Reyes. You said Sherlock. Yes, one of the immigrant males. Go have a drink. Drink. No. Drink. No, doesn't want to drink. So Sherlock has been seen here quite often. One of the younger of the immigrant males. I think he comes from the Elephant Plain clan, if I'm not mistaken. I think so. Alright, let's go a little bit further. I think it's going to go behind the dam wall there. Oh, don't worry. I do apologise. And Jilliby, yes, a nice hyena. Spotted hyena for the evening. This is fantastic. I really do miss them. Absolutely miss them so much. Just miss the entire Djuma clan. It looks like this hyena is moving towards maybe central side. Alright, let's go a little bit forward. Yeah, it's going up there. It's sniffing out something. I'm not too sure what. You can see it now and again lifting its head up and sniffing the air. Fantastic sense of smell. So, oh, it's coming this way. It's coming back this way again. I just want to see. I don't want to go and chase him there now. It's going towards that tree there. Sorry, Paul. I do apologise. Paul has to switch on and off all the time there. You can see picking up on a scent and it's moving straight away from Central and still sniffing towards the dam area. What are you sniffing, eh? What are you smelling? I think he's going to come out on this side there now. And should pop out there, but yeah, there it goes to the left. Ah, it's gone now. Alright, well, it was nice. A brief visual of Sherlock. Nice to see a spotted hyena again. It will be nice to see the entire Djuma clan just all together. Oh.
Explore the untamed valleys and thickets with Ralph Kirsten.
Beautiful.
Or venture into the wild with Eric Barnard.
I will take you to my favorite places, show you my favorite animals, share the best stories, and you'll definitely be able to watch the stars.
There are only 6 places available on each safari. For more information and to secure your seat, contact Wild Earth Travel.
No sign of him at the dip there. I was actually telling Panda and Nadine earlier, we went over this dip. There's actually a little culvert there, or pipe, that helps the water drain underneath the road, and so it doesn't erode that section. And one time I went over there and Tundi shot out from the pipe. She obviously got a fright because I basically was driving over the top of her. And then I left and she actually came back and went into the pipe and her tail was sticking out a little bit. But I don't know what she had in there. It's actually quite common to see cats in stormwater pipes like that. They do use them as dens quite a lot. And there's actually a very funny story from the Masai Mara where there was a lioness actually attached to a warthog, and everyone thought the warthog was stuck in the pipe, and they were trying to pull the warthog out to try and free it from this pipe because they thought it had got stuck. And it was only when they actually got a grader and they dug the road that this lioness bolted out with the warthog in its mouth, and everyone got an absolute fright because they'd been tugging on the warthog from the back, and this poor warthog is being pulled both ways by a lion in front and a bunch of people in the back. Shame. Traumatic day, but the warthog got away in the end, so I suppose it was better that happened. Anyway, we're going to carry on. We're going to head off towards quarantine, see if anything else is lurking that side.
Well, we have made our way here to a nice open clearing. Got a nice herd of impalas, the male on the right hand side, the females all on the left, a nice breeding herd. Ooh, I can hear that hyena now. I'm sure it's Sherlock that's busy calling there. Sounds like him. Sherlock!
Are you good, man?
Are you good, man? That's yes. Oh, Oh, hello, Tristan. As you can hear, the impala is very afraid at the moment. They just saw Tristan come in, and yeah, I think it's not Tristan. Maybe it's Nadine that the impalas are starting to alarm call. Off they go. Back to camp. I'm sure they're all hungry, ready for some dinner tonight. And Paul, are you ready for dinner?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, not too sure what's on the menu tonight, Tadiwa. Actually, interesting, last night, Tristan and myself were invited to somebody's lodge here for a beautiful chicken pie last night, and the chicken pie was amazing. They actually kind of marinated with an old brown sherry. Can you believe it? The chicken marinated with old brown sherry, and made it a beautiful, beautiful chicken pie last night. I do apologize. I think my audio is bad. Scratchy.
Sharp.
So yeah, but and they gave us a takeaway. So, but Tristan did not want to eat the takeaway because he says, well, he told me today. I never knew this about Tristan, but he says that he doesn't eat mushrooms. He doesn't like mushrooms. Now, of course, in chicken pie, there's lots of mushrooms inside there. And he feels that he doesn't like the texture of a mushroom. And I said, well, then you're not a fungi. A fungi. You're not a fungi. So then I ate the rest of it. So then I had the rest of the chicken pie. Thank you. I actually had it on drive this afternoon. Had a little takeaway here. So it was very, very nice indeed. But what a lovely afternoon. What a lovely Sunday afternoon. It's been fantastic. Tiggs, nice having you on board with us on the world's largest safari vehicle. And as you know, please don't forget that tomorrow morning sunrise and sunset safari will not be live. It's Monday. So just a heads up on that. But Tristan and myself, and of course Eric as well, we will all be out and looking for some sightings where we can pretty much record. And I will keep everybody in the loop. I'm sure Tristan as well. So yes. These impalas are. Looks like that female got away and the male was not too happy. He's chasing her now. And the rest of the herd is just following. They just like follow. But yes, thanks everybody for joining us on our Sunset Safari on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. And thank you so much for all the comments and the questions that you have sent through to us today. Hoping that we could answer as many questions as possible. I'm hoping that you had just as much fun as we did. But yes, from this lovely herd of impalas moving towards the open clearing, from the Wild Earth team, from Muscles and Paul and his little teddy bear. Yes, his little teddy bear. And from myself, to everybody, have a wonderful evening further. Good night.
Well, hello, good afternoon, and welcome to the Amakhala Private Game Reserve in the Eastern Cape province of South Africa. We've got a little bit of a break in the clouds. We have a massive storm approaching, but we're now